In this video, I'm going to give you directions for getting the data to use to answer the questions for handout number 1. And so I've given you these directions in written form, and I'm also going to give them to you in video form. So I begin with going to the Bureau of Economic Analysis, and so I've just simply put in www.bea.gov, and that takes me to the Bureau of Economic Analysis website, which has a wealth of information. We are going to first go to data here on the left hand side and click it. We are then going to go to data by topic. We are then going to click on gross domestic product from the right hand side. And then we're going to scroll down a bit and go and click on interactive data. Once we click on interactive data, we are now going to click on GDP and the National Income and Product Account historical tables. Now we're going to click on Section 1, Domestic Product and Income. And that will give me a lot of tables to choose from. I'm going to choose table 1.1.6, real gross domestic product, chain dollars, and at some point we're going to talk about what chain dollars means, but for right now we're just going to pick this table. In parentheses, you'll see that there is either an A or a Q next to these tables, and that just simply means that the data is either in annual form or quarterly form or both. So either you have the data by year or you have the data by quarters in the year. So I'm going to click on this, and now I have a table that looks very familiar to the table that we looked at in class, and this is the way you would calculate GDP using the expenditure approach. So we have consumption, we have investment, we have exports and imports. We would subtract imports from our calculation of GDP, and then we have government expenditures. I would like you to look at a longer series of GDP. So here you see we begin in 2016 and we end in 2018, and we have the data by quarter. And what I would like you to really look at is a longer time span and to look at data by year. So what I'm going to do now is come over to the right hand side and click this little circle arrow that says modify. And once this new data table options box pops up, I am going to select my first year from this drop down menu. And I'm going to scroll down until I get to the first date that is reported, which is 1929. So right around the time of the Great Depression. And you notice there's an A next to it, which means that the data reporting GDP and relevant subcategories is only reported annually for the years 1929 all the way to 1946. And that's okay, because I would like you to look at annual data. So I'm going to select 1929. And then I'm going to choose from the last year what I would like you to end at 2017. And the reason for that is because you'll notice that in 2018 there's only quarterly data. And so I would like you to look at annual data. So I'm going to select 2017 A and Q. And then from this series, I'm going to ask that you look at annual data. So I'm going to select annual. I'm going to want to look at all years, so I'm going to click select all years, and then I'm going to refresh my table. And what you should now see is the same table with the same categories that are listed here on the left hand side that using the expenditure approach add to gross domestic product, but now I have years spanning from 1929 all the way, if I scroll to the right, all the way to 2017. And in scrolling, I also notice that these subcategories, things like the subcategories of personal consumption expenditures, only begin to be recorded in the data in 2002. So prior to 2002, what I really have are kind of the major categories and components of GDP. So the C, the I, the G, the E, and the IM. And so now at this point, you are ready to start answering the questions that I ask you. And so what I really would like you to do is start to compare GDP in some of the Depression era years. And I would also like you to compare some of the subcomponents of GDP during the Depression years. And so what I'm really just trying to give you a sense of is just what the Depression era looked like in terms of GDP and data. So at this point you are now ready to look at the questions. I just want to show you one more thing for those who are interested. This has nothing to do with handout number 1. Anything beyond this point is not part of handout number 1. But I do want to show you that you can actually go over to the right here and you can download this data. And you can download it in Excel format, and you will have downloaded an Excel sheet automatically here in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. And if you click it, Excel will automatically open, and it will automatically show you that same chart, though you'll actually just have your own Excel sheet with this information. To enable editing, and then I'm going to open up this. So this is the same sheet that we've seen in class, except now we have it in Excel, and we have the dates 1929 all the way to 2017. And so, if you at some point in class we're going to play around with Excel and make some graphs, but for right now, I just wanted to let you know of that option if you'd like to play with it now. Okay, well, hope that was clear. If it's not, please feel free to see me during office hours.